What is it about Nigerians that do so well in this country? That's one of the things. If you look at like Nigerian immigrants, like successful ratios of different immigration groups, Nigerians in particular are extraordinarily successful upon immigrating to America.
Yeah, I think it's a family thing. It's like when our families decide and we get the opportunity to move to a better place.
Right.
The thing is that the whole persona is we're going to be able to sustain this forever. So my kids are not going to just play around in sports because that's not guaranteed.
Right.
What is guaranteed is the fact that you're going to go to school and you're going to become a doctor because you're going to get a job anywhere in the world that you want. That's why majority of them are doctors.
Right.
Majority of them doctors, engineers, because these are jobs that high demand jobs. You're always going to get a job anywhere.
Yeah.
And so that's all we push. You're going to be a doctor or you're going to be an engineer. None of them are saying you're going to be a professional athlete. My parents, hell no. They didn't care for that. Like, I lied to them the first couple of years that I was wrestling.
Before I play the next clip that is going to show you how Nigerians have been making us proud and Nigeria is a great country and how Nigerians have been excelling and being successful in all walks of life, I want to say something to buttress the point this guy made. In Nigeria, it's either you are a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a nurse. Like, they like professional courses in Nigeria so much. In fact, it's almost like until the invent of, let's say, data analysis, all other software jobs, Nigerians will always stay with that. And that is why wherever they go outside the country, they can get jobs. Wherever they are, they can get jobs because of the kind of courses they read. And that is why you see a Nigerian who studied accountancy in Nigeria going outside the country to go and study medicine or to go and study nursing or to go and do other jobs. They go to school a lot. Nigerians go to school a lot. That one is a Nigerian who did law is going abroad to go and do nursing. Does that even make sense? And they will study to ensure they get it because Nigerians love to be successful. They hate poverty. If there's any country in the world that hates poverty, it's Nigerians. They don't like poverty at all. Don't even associate them with poverty. They don't like it and they will never support poverty. So that's why you see Nigerians, when they say, if you study nursing, you are going to make like $10,000. Nigerians will get up, pam, pam, pam. They will go and start studying that course. If it needs them reading 247 to ensure that they study that nursing and know it, they want to do it. If you tell in Nigeria, you see, being a doctor, you can work anywhere, you can become a billionaire. They have gone. That is why you see somebody that studied electronics going to do data analysis because they told them that data analysts are very wealthy and they can sit at home and work remotely. Nigerians like soft life. Let me put it that way. Nigerians naturally love soft life. So that's why you see them. You see somebody like, look at this guy, Charlie Boy. Charlie Boy's father sent him to go and read to go and read law. He went there and studied music. Now Charlie Boy went into the entertainment industry. Charlie Boy is still alive. Charlie Boy is my father's age mate. My father is gone because my father was reading book. I'm not saying to read book is bad though. My father was a high court judge. So he read and read. He was stressing and stressing. But at the end of the day, did you see what happened? At the end of the day, did you see what happened? He failed. He died out of stress from reading, going to court, all those things. But Charlie Boy decided to go out there and hustle and make himself laugh and make people laugh and was just living his life. Through his living his life, he was making money, so he will not suffer certain ailment. People who are doing other things are suffering. I'm not saying that the fact that Charlie Boy is living longer than my dad is just because of that. There are other. See, let me tell you, the choices you make in life can make or break you. Yes, my father was the book person. Imagine if my dad, with his intelligence, with his smartness, with his kindness, decides that he will go and he becomes a data analyst. At that time, there was no course like that in Nigeria, or we're not privy to those kind of things. By now, my dad would have gone find the industry and all these things. I'm not saying, well, God has his plans. So, but to me, I feel that one of the things that unalive that man is stress. He contributed to it. To me, that's what I feel. Because look at his mate now. Charlie Boy is my dad's age mate. And see, Charlie Boy is enjoying his life. He's feeling cool with himself. He doesn't even look like a grandfather. That's how it is. Sometimes, see, there are some things that you see that people are living soft life, born out of the kind of choices they decide to make. So, stress is one thing that is very, very bad. So let's watch this other clip and I'll come back.
Such a strange story from the beginning. We'd all heard the stories about what he had done in Africa. How he played a little bit of basketball, not a lot. He played team handball, he played soccer. And we really had nothing to pin it on because none of us had ever seen him play before he got to Houston.
A guy named Chris Pond is sending this kid over.
Christopher Pond, he was coaching Central Africa. He said, well, if I arrange the visa, will you go? I said, of course.
Hakeem, he lands at JFK in New York, and St. John's is supposed to meet him. No one's there. He has 3 other tickets, one for Louisville, the University of Houston, and Providence. He walks outside of JFK, and it's cold.
As soon as I opened that door, the breeze that hit me from the outside, there's no way I couldn't even go outside, so I just went straight back in. What am I gonna do?
He sees a baggage handler that happens to be Nigerian, and he asks him, hey, which one of these have weather similar to Lagos, Nigeria? The baggage handler looks. He says, Houston.
So I changed my tickets, catch the next plane to Houston. So I got to Houston, and nobody was there.
Guy Lewis tells Mike Young and I, says, look for a kid from Africa, probably will be about 6'7". I'm like, okay.
And so he said, if the guy is 6'6", 6'7", we're gonna send him back.
Mike Young and I see Hakeem, and he keeps growing, growing, and growing. I'm like, no, he's a 7-footer, all right, but he only weighs about 170 pounds. And I call up Coach Lewis. I said, hey, Coach, it's Eric Davis. He goes, you got the kid? He says, I got him. I says, you know, he's 7 feet tall. He goes, well.
Basketball-wise, he was a kindergartner. He didn't know much about the sport. He didn't know how to play the game.
Hakeem had something you couldn't teach. He had the ability to go and get the ball off the rim, and he probably had the best timing. It was a lot for him as a young guy, and he earned the right to be on the floor.
He is a competitor. He is a warrior. We couldn't coach that. We got the greatest gift in the world. And you know what? Wherever that baggage handler is, wherever he's at, thank you. Thank you.
So with this story you've heard, you can now know that Nigerians, they like soft life, they like to go, they are go-getters, and Nigerians be making us proud for the longest. A Nigerian would not want to live in a place where there's too much cold. If you listen to their conversation, in Nigeria, a typical Nigerian would not, except a Nigerian who grew up in the UK, like the time this guy came to Nigeria, Anthony Joshua, because he had lived in the UK for long, saw that even while he was in Nigeria, he was wearing only shorts without his shirt because he's used to that weather. But a Nigerian who grew up here will never go to a place. In fact, they will want a place that is having the same climate or the same weather change with Nigeria. That's what they want to have. But the most important thing is they are getting the job done, right? That's all I want to say to guys. So if you're a Nigerian and you are out there, why do you think that each time they say go to Africa and look for talent, the first place they think of is Nigeria? Because Nigeria is the most popular country in Africa. In the 54 countries in the continent, Nigeria is the most popular. See, I just read a post now where somebody said, why is it that Ghanaians, South Africans are always very willing to pay for sewing lectures, sewing craft and all of that? I said, because in Nigeria, we have too many tutors teaching the same thing. So in those places in South Africa, in Ghana, they don't have many people like that. So they would rather pay. And most times those Ghanaians, the people they want to learn from in Ghana are maybe charging them too much. And then Nigeria is giving them very, very affordable offer. So they would definitely want to jump at that offer. And that's just the simple truth. That's the simple truth, So it's not about, that they are the ones that want to pay. It's just the fact that you give them a better offer. So that's basically it. Nigerians have been making us proud for the longest. Like, do you understand? This is dating way back. This is just why Nigerians are very successful. It goes because your parents don't care whether you are playing football. Like the first guy talked about, he said in where you want to be a professional footballer, they don't care. Their own is that they just want you to go to school. Just look at Davido. His father ensured that Davido finished university. While Davido was already Davido popular, the father made him to go for youth service. The 1-year program we do after graduating in Nigeria, youth service corps. He went to serve. That's to show you how the Nigerians don't joke. Like, you want to go for politics, they'll tell you where is your certificate. People will begin to mock you. So in Nigeria, education is number one before any other thing. We're not even saying